Welcome back to Mindset Meets Medicine. I am Natalie Tyler. I am a triple board certified nurse practitioner with psychiatry, oncology, and family practice. And I have with me, as always, on our Friday recordings with Mike Dulcio, emotional intelligence coach, plus many, many more. Let's say hi, Mike.
Hello, hello, greetings. For those meeting me for the first time, I am Coach Mike Dulcio, and my work sits at the intersection of emotional intelligence, executive advisory, family leadership, and legacy. So, generally, I work with professionals, entrepreneurs, leaders that are parents, and families who aren't necessarily lacking intelligence, ambition, or information. So, many of them already know what to do, but my work is helping them to uncover what's keeping them or what's interfering with their ability to consistently become the person they're capable of becoming.
Yeah, absolutely. And that kind of leads us into our thoughts for tonight with self sabotage, right? Sometimes the biggest obstacle standing between ourselves or us and the life that we want isn't necessarily our circumstances. It is the patterns which we've learned to protect ourselves. Um, then explaining the self sabotage isn't necessarily someone consciously trying to ruin their life. I don't think anyone's intentionally ever trying to ruin their life, but often behavior once served a purpose, right? So self sabotage can actually be a form of self protection. It's something that uh, feels familiar, or excuse me, unfamiliar, and it's therefore not safe. So that's our illogical mind, tying back to last week, our emotional response. So this feels unfamiliar, therefore it must be unsafe. If I don't get too close, then I can't get hurt. Or if I fail now, at least I controlled the failure, or at least those are some of the thought processes I hear from the psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner side. It's all about, if a person finally has that healthy relationship, that new job that's going well, financial stability or improved mental health, even, and then suddenly anxiety increases. It's not that anything is wrong, it's just because it's something that is different. If we talk about the nervous system, right, we're not just saying the brain, it doesn't always recognize that better as is safe. So just because we're doing better doesn't mean it's safe. Um, this is where like chronic stress comes in my experience. So chronic stress affects the mind and the body together, and that all plays a role into what we're talking about, the self sabotage, even though it's unintentional. The body may be still responding to a threat, and that can show up in many different forms from my experience. So it could be poor sleep, it could be GI, it could be headaches, it could be muscle tension, fatigue, irritability, racing thoughts, difficulty concentrating, anxiety, changes in your appetite, elevated heart rate, blood pressure. And all of those things together, they sound like many different diagnoses to me. They sound like ADHD, they sound like hormones, they sound like burned out people, but it really is just the way your body is reacting to that chronic stress you have. So sometimes the person isn't deliberately self sabotaging. It's their nervous system that's expecting the other shoe to drop. And avoidance can feel good to them, right? In the short term. So that's like a huge part of this is that avoidance for them worked at one point, and that's where we have to break that cycle. Avoidance made it feel good for that moment. The brain learns that avoidance worked. So the next time that same anxiety kind of appears, the person avoids again. It's a cycle that develops. So those are kind of my initial thoughts, Mike. I don't know if you want to bring in the emotional intelligence or even your experience from it or what you think.
Absolutely, Natalie. Like, here's something I observed. Some people survive chaos incredibly well.
Mm-hmm.
They're resourceful, they're resilient, they're fighters, but then life becomes peaceful and they almost don't know what to do with themselves, right? And I find that here's what fascinates me with that. People, familiar and healthy, are not necessarily the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And something can be unhealthy and still feel comfortable simply because we've experienced it in repetition
Right.
repeatedly.
Mm-hmm.
and something can be incredibly good for us and still feel uncomfortable because we've never lived there before.
Right.
So for me, that's why I tell people don't confuse discomfort with misalignment, because sometimes discomfort is simply unfamiliarity. So when self-sabotage shows up as it can show up as a safety mechanism
Mhm.
in the beginning. It can show up as hyper performance,
Mhm.
or being very very vigilant, or whatever the case is. But it's very 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 subtle in the way it throws us off track. You alluded to it earlier when you said burnout or over functioning,
Mhm.
especially when things are starting to work out. So that topic actually brings up a question that I like to ask you, Nat. From your perspective, why do you think why can stability actually feel uncomfortable to someone who has spent years operating in stress?
Well, I think it goes back to that it's not familiar to them, so it's uncomfortable. So it's like a negative reinforcement loop almost. The behavior becomes more likely because it was temporarily removing that uncomfortable feeling, which then made it comfortable or a cycle. And then so anything that's different from it, that's uncomfortable or it's stressful. And that's why telling somebody, in my opinion, like just stop avoiding it or just get over it. I mean, I'm sure they could if they would. It's probably like throwing a cat in water, right? When you hear that, they get irritated. But it's usually not enough. They need to learn a difference, like you said, between a response to discomfort versus like identifying a problematic cycle that's not moving them towards the future. At least is my
Right,
thought process.
right, right.
But
Absolutely.
yeah, and you were saying something just a minute ago too. I would say that people don't always recognize things like even perfectionism as self sabotage, right? So if I can't do it perfectly, I won't start, or I'm going to wait until I have more time. I need to get everything organized first. I'm not ready to start yet. And as I'm saying these things, yes, Mike, I'm thinking about myself and you with this show because I was like, oh, I want it to be perfect. I need this, I need this, I need this, and and then we're like, screw it, just do it, just go do it.
Listen, I always love your transparency.
Oh
We've
yeah,
all been there. I've been there. And what's actually hidden behind perfectionism at its core, it's really fear.
it is.
It's the fear of failure.
It is.
And
Don't tell people my
and
shame. I'm just kidding.
I'm just gonna be honest, right?
Yep,
Like
yep.
we hear about the fear of failure constantly,
Mhm.
but like let's take a moment to unpack that, right?
Yeah,
Sometimes we're not afraid that the business will fail.
right.
We're afraid of what we believe the failure will say about us.
Yes. Yeah.
And there's these different thoughts that begin to show up. It's like maybe I'm not as talented as everybody thinks,
Yep.
even though I have all these credentials and degrees and this experience. Maybe I really can't do this, or maybe I shouldn't have even tried.
I think
So
about the
instead
Peter
of
principle all the time. I don't know if you know. I'm sure you know what that is. Where it's like you were promoted just too high. You should have stayed back down there. I'm like, can
right,
I do this? Maybe I can. And I say, F it, I'm doing it. That's just me. I'll figure it out.
right. So so for for people for us, so instead of risking an honest failure,
Hmm.
what we do is go into self-preservation mode and we
Yep.
create an excuse. We
Yes.
procrastinate, we don't prepare fully,
Yeah.
we don't make the call,
Yep.
we don't launch, because subconsciously there's an escape hatch. Like
Hmm.
I could have succeeded if I had really tried.
Yeah. Yes.
And for me, that's a very, very expensive sentence.
Yeah. You're touching at a core here because I was thinking about this today and I was thinking about those education sessions I keep telling you about that I want to do like out in the community in Immokalee and Ave Maria, where it's like once a month and we get community partners and we're just trying to expose people to different forms of healthcare, holistic,
Yes.
traditional, whatever. And this whole time, I'm like, when I thought about what you said too, because I know the underlying root is fear of failure, I was like, well, I don't really think that I'm fearing failure. I just feel like I need to pick the right day. And if I pick the wrong day, people aren't going to come. And I was like, oh, and then there's the fear of failure because no one's going to come.
Bingo.
And I'm like, dang
Thank you,
it.
because I'm glad you said that, and
Yep.
I'm glad you processed it how
Yep.
you did. Because when we hear fear of failure, we think it's this. Oh no, maybe there's some kind of inner child thing that needs to be healed,
Right.
or
Right.
maybe there's this over encompassing
Mm-hmm.
feeling that no, no. When we process it, we see that we actually start to create excuses because we actually
Yeah.
anticipate what we don't desire rather
Yep.
than what we do desire.
And you want to manifest what you do want, and that's more likely to make it come true. Like, once I
Absolutely.
identified that, I was like, even if two people came, I would still educate them and teach them. I said, if nobody came, I would practice and then I'd eat the food because we're trying to bring food to these things. So I'll be nice and full and talking to ghosts. So then people are going to think that I'm psychotic and I'll get Baker acted. Oh, I'm gonna
So,
die.
a great question that anyone can ask
Hmm.
themselves is, when does that protective behavior stop becoming protection
Yeah.
and it starts actually becoming imprisonment?
Yeah, because they're avoiding the possibility of failure, which then they're also avoiding the possibility of success too, right? We got a 50-50 shot, depending what you put into it, success or failure. If you never try, you'll never know. You'll never be
I'm
successful.
so glad you went to the other side
Oh,
of
yeah.
fear of failure. The fear of
Oh,
success.
mm-hmm.
The fear of success, we hear it, but I honestly don't. But in my field, in my work, um, I really don't feel like people really discuss it enough. It's just
Yeah.
something that's said as a blanket statement,
Yeah.
but we don't really probe into it. And the fear of success really asks, what if it does work,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because success creates responsibilities too.
Yeah.
Like, if my company doubles, can I lead it?
Mm-hmm.
If everybody starts watching, can I handle the scrutiny that's bound to show up? Because we
Oh,
all
that's a good
know
point.
there's a real thing as haters out there, and they exist to challenge um, successful things. If my income if my income changes, will my relationships change? If I become successful, will people expect me to keep succeeding? And all of these, like, sometimes
Yeah.
failure threatens our ego,
Mm-hmm.
but success, on the other side, success actually threatens our identity.
Yeah, because it even could
And
potentially change
it's
that identity, right?
say it again, that
I said you could possibly even be changing your identity, and that's where that identity change comes in.
absolutely,
Ah.
absolutely. Like, I ask myself this question um, all the time, and I'll ask you if you're okay with this. Like, have you ever reached a new level professionally and discovered that getting there wasn't nearly as difficult as becoming comfortable with being the woman who belonged there?
Well, yeah. I mean, you're talking about imposter syndrome, which goes along with self sabotage because, I go through all my different credentialings because I see something I wanted, I go learn it, and I do it. And first you're like, oh, wow, this is really hard. You're learning, you're going. But then once you're in that role, you feel like you're an imposter. Like you shouldn't be there. You're not confident enough. You don't know what the hell you're doing. I think I'm answering your question. I hope I'm not going opposite of your
No,
question.
you are. No,
Okay, good.
You are, because the question behind that is, what did you have to stop believing about yourself?
What did I have to stop believing about myself? Oh, in
Yes.
order to overcome that?
Uh huh.
Yeah, I had to stop believing the negative self-talk in my personal experience. I had to stop believing that like others see me as something different too, because you could have that, it's an identity thing too, where I was
Yes.
identifying as a nurse and I'm like, oh, I'm only a nurse. I can't write orders. I can't prescribe. I can't actually diagnose somebody. What the hell am I doing? Who am I?
Yeah.
And then experience, time, training, and then just, I think everyone has this, but maybe not. Just me being me. It's just that self confidence of, no, I need to be confident. And the only way I'm going to be confident is if I'm competent and I know the knowledge behind it. And so that's how I overcame those.
Oh
issues.
my goodness, so
So,
beautiful. Absolutely, and the experience that you had to back all of that,
yeah, a lot.
that established the competency. Oh man,
Yeah,
that's
I don't like not knowing something. And if I don't know it, I learn it. You better believe if I learn something like during the day or my clinical, my experience with my practice, if I something new, I'll tell the patient, I'm like, oh, I haven't heard that before. Let me go research it. That night, I'm
yes.
researching it, if not on lunch break. Well, that's just like even with like
and
HIV medications, because I was always not scared of it, but I probably like fear of like prescribing it wrong or not knowing something. That was my fear at the time. But I was like, no, I'm scared of it. I'm going to go do it. And so that's why I went to go learn the medications, the treatments, the regimens, the signs. And then I went to become HIV certified because I was like, I want to know what I'm doing to help these patients that come through the door. So I think that's always been my thing is if when I ever identify something that's I'm afraid of, I'm going to go do it because I got to get over it.
that's that's so good.
um,
That is so good, Nat, because you embrace the challenge
yeah.
and you're not afraid of getting uncomfortable. And we know that
Well,
there's
there's
no,
always fear, but I think there was like a
well, you don't
saying
let it stop you.
exactly because there's like a line between fear and courage. I think if I remember correctly, I can't remember the quote exactly.
Yeah, courage
Um,
is not the absence of fear, but
yeah,
more so the recognition of fear and yet
yes,
deciding to pursue.
and still
Um,
percent. Yep, I think when I was barrel racing horses back when I was a teenager, I saw that with like a barrel racing thing, and I was like, oh, the courage is to be able to get back up and keep going. And I was like, that's me.
yes,
That's what I want to do.
because there's no growth in the comfort zone.
Yes. Oh,
And
true.
and so we're speaking about the comfort zone. I want to redefine the comfort zone a little bit.
Okay.
People hear comfort zone and imagine somebody sitting on the couch doing nothing, and to me that's way too simplistic.
I imagine
You,
eating mac and cheese because I think of comfort food, but
not
that's
the
just
mac and
me.
cheese. What?
Yeah, Brian, my husband, mac and cheese. That's the bomb right there.
Oh yeah,
We'll all
yeah,
be
the
sleeping
ultimate comfort
afterwards.
food.
But yeah, you're right. That is definitely simplistic.
you people like you can be incredibly busy
Yeah.
inside your comfort zone,
Yeah.
right? Like we could be answering 100 emails, attending meetings, taking
Yep.
courses, redesigning websites, researching, planning, organizing,
Yeah.
helping everybody else, and avoiding
Hmm.
the one uncomfortable activity that would actually move our lives forward.
Stop talking about me, Mike.
Like busy doesn't necessarily mean productive. Like
True.
productive and productive doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't have to mean courageous neither.
True.
Like sometimes the breakthrough is not what else should I do,
Yep. I definitely
right?
fear not being busy. So if I sit down, I'm like, there's something I'm supposed to be doing right now. So that's my still working on it.
I get it. I get it. I get it. That's why I asked. I'd ask the
Yeah.
question: what am I staying busy doing,
Yeah.
so that I don't have to do the thing that I'm afraid of? Like, what's keeping me distracted on purpose?
Yep.
Right? Because I've been there. I've been there many a times, and just busy doing a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, sometimes you're like, "What the heck did I do all day?" Like I could have been Netflixing and sitting there and watching it, just relaxing. I would, I would say that we could even see that. So, like from my family nurse practitioner side, right? So, as a provider, I see people come in because like their body is telling them that something isn't right, but sometimes we're treating the symptom without addressing the behavior or the stress underneath it. So I typically look for like that etiology or the root cause, and sometimes it's just the behavior. So chronic stress equals poor sleep, which equals fatigue, which equals less exercise, which is worse mood, poor food choices, weight gain, frustration, stress. And that's not five or six or how many I said, like separate problems. That is one interconnected cycle.
Yes.
And that's why I believe in treating the whole person rather than just one diagnosis or one piece of it. I remember telling that to a patient today too. She has dementia And we were looking at all these different facets that go with it. And it's just really important to look overall, make sure we rule out the medical side before we just go straight into you have dementia, you're going downhill. But
Right.
even I have a lot of patients recently that they're in this cycle, and what they see it as is like anxiety or I can't sleep. And that's been huge lately with several of my patients. But when you look at them and you talk to them and you figure things out, it's actually like their nervous system is on fire. And
Mm.
trying to teach them how to calm that fire with behavioral. So I've been doing a lot of cognitive behavioral therapy with these people to try to change their mentality, their actions, their choices, um, to produce a better outcome. Because I have one person that I've tried a series of different medications for her because it's depression, anxiety, insomnia, among other things.
Mhm.
And let's go with the sleep aspect because I thought, well, if we control the depression, the anxiety, we can probably get the sleep going, kicking back into gear. And we taught her sleep hygiene and everything with it.
Mhm.
Um, it wasn't working for her, and she felt like she was going insane. And I ruled out bipolar first, just so everyone listening, it's not mania. Um, and we try to sleep aid just to give it a try, just to try to get her to sleep because we need sleep to emotionally regulate, as you know.
Of
Um,
course.
she became panic. She took the medication, went to bed, panic, full panic mode. Same thing
Mhm.
with multiple, like there's a next night, I was like, okay, well, maybe that's just not the right type of medicine for you. Let's try this other one. And, you still have to deal with, I don't want to get her addicted to anything. She doesn't want to be addicted to anything. I have patients
Right.
who don't really want to take meds, but they know they need help. So there's a lot of caveats that make it complex. In the
Yes.
end, when I tried the second type of sleep aid, so we stopped the other one, tried that one, still trying to get the depression under control with the other medicine. Um, she had a panic attack again. And I was like, listen, we're going to have to stop medication because medication isn't helping and it's not what you
Right.
need. We need to truly focus on this CBT or cognitive behavioral therapy. We need to get you into a sleep hygiene routine, which is, you dim the lights, you do a routine before you go to bed, about 30 minutes
Very good.
before,
Very good.
no screen time, no doom scrolling, no TV. Do boring things in the dim light so you can feel tired. When you feel tired, go to bed. And I have a couple now that I taught, when you go to lay down, obviously, you don't want to stare at the clock. You don't want anything stimulating. You don't want to sit there be counting the minutes that you're there.
Right.
But you lay there for about 20 minutes or so, again, not counting. Just if you start feeling irritated, you get up, you go do something until you feel tired again.
Right.
It's still calming, you're still dark. I usually read a textbook. That's just me, but um, but for them too, this new idea I got from CBD therapy because I've been doing extra training on it, is you're telling yourself, I need to go to bed or I need to go lay down to rest. You're not telling yourself you need to sleep because if you
Right.
start to do that, you get performance anxiety and that makes it
Yes.
worse. And then they go into panic or people start to think, what if I can't fall asleep? Oh my God, what happens? Da 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 da. So more of the therapy was, okay, patient, tell me what happens if you don't get a good night of sleep. Well, I'm going to be tired in the morning. I'm worried about my work performance. It's going to go down. I said, okay, um, you have been tired before. You've gotten through your day and you've survived and you've performed well at work, right? Well, yeah. I was like, okay, it's a change in your mindset. It's a change in this.
Yes, it
If
is.
I don't get this sleep, I'm going to fail at work. Well, no, we have evidence to support you haven't gotten sleep. You've been tired. You've gone to work and you've been fine. And then that kind of like just calms the central nervous system. It calms these panic attacks.
Absolutely.
So I know one little side note there, but thinking like family, psych, and it's not just throwing meds because I don't throw meds at people, choices, but medication can absolutely be a part of treatment, right? But medication doesn't teach somebody how to tolerate the discomfort that we've been talking about, that discomfort challenge, the distorted thinking that can
Right.
happen. It can't help with setting boundaries. It can't help with communication or behavioral changes. It The medication is trying to either increase these neurotransmitters in your brain for various reasons, or trying to help calm down the system. And then you
Or
go
tries
through.
to pacify it or just
It
appease it.
could
No real.
absolutely, like I could have knocked her out with some sort of benzo, and then she would have been asleep. But then who knows
Right.
what's going to happen? You'd have to do that every night, and therefore addiction. You're right.
That's why that's why you're efficient, Natalie. That's why you're great at what you do. Because honestly, you've not only validated the patient
Their
in
experience.
normalizing what they were feeling and why they were feeling what they were feeling, but
Hmm.
you gave them a sense of control, agency
Yes.
over what it is that they're dealing with, and realizing that they have the power to do something about it, which
Yeah.
is affirming to the mind and the nervous system in and of itself. Because it was psychosomatic,
Yeah.
and you taught her, instead of just throwing a pill at her, whatever the case is, that would have pacified for the moment. You've helped that patient to, you actually empowered
I
them.
was just thinking that word. We
You
so
actually
think alike.
empowered them to know that I can do something about this.
Hmm.
I'm not different. I'm not weird. I'm not so out of whack.
Yeah.
I can actually take control over how I'm feeling and why I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling, which is powerful. Of
Yeah.
course, we're not saying medication is obsolete or
Right.
there's no none of what. It has its place. I just don't think it's the front door.
Yes. I
I don't
agree.
think I don't think it begins there, and that speaks so well to in my field and working with the nervous system and emotional intelligence and how people deal with imposter syndrome as
Hmm.
well. A lot of these things are psychological or psychosomatic. We create these stories. Like
Yeah.
I had a client recently come to me and say, Mike, I don't feel good. I don't feel qualified. And I'll ask sometimes, well, I ask this client, I'm like, compared to whom?
Yes.
You don't feel qualified compared to whom?
Well, do you get a lot of the mind reading where they say, well, they're thinking this, or they're saying they're thinking that I'm not good enough. But you're like, oh, did
Ab-
they say that? And you're like, well, no, but I know that that's what they're thinking. And that's hard to break.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And m- eh, my job is simple. Like because what I do is I bring them back into reality.
Yes.
Like like I said, you're not qualified compared to whom, because you've accumulated over 10 years of experience in this field. You survived things that you could not have imagined. You've
Mm-hmm.
solved real problems. You've helped real people. You've developed a certain level of real expertise in your field.
Yep.
And somehow you're comparing your private insecurity to somebody else's public confidence.
Yeah.
And
Great
after
point.
we
Public
go through that series
confidence.
of questioning,
Yeah. It's just like all of our
yes,
Facebooks, right? We have perfect lives on Facebook, but in reality, it's a mess. So you just confidence.
exactly. You're
Yes.
comparing yourself to somebody else's
Yeah.
public confidence.
Yeah.
And after they answer the questions and realize what it is that they've done and
Yep.
what they've survived and what they've achieved
Yeah.
and what they've overcome already, there's this reality that is like, you're right, you're right.
Yeah.
I am this person. And it's affirming, it's self affirming. I'm
Yes.
not flattering, I'm not adding anything to, I'm just reminding you of everything that you shared with me,
Yeah. I
which
like
brings you
it.
back into a real space.
I always say reorienting to reality to my husband. Hopefully he doesn't listen to this, but we'll be talking. I'll be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's reorient to reality real quick. He's like, don't try that psych stuff on me. I'm like, but it's real. uh,
Yeah, let's look in the present. Let's see
yes.
what's actually going on.
Yes. Yes. Oh God, we could talk hours. Hey, I have a question for you.
Go for it.
It just kind of popped up. So when somebody knows exactly what they need to do, but keeps getting in their own way, what do you typically see as like the biggest obstacle?
That's such a great question.
Yeah.
The first thought that came to mind is this age old saying that I've heard some time ago. I think it's Eastern in nature. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step.
Oh, yes. Just do it. Just start. And you told me that when we started this podcast. You're like, Nat, just start.
You see, I didn't even have to finish it.
Nope. I'm sorry. I cut you off too. Sorry.
Exactly. Because the truth is that we know what it is that we have to do,
Hmm.
but often we're really looking for support.
Yeah, I can agree with
We're
that.
looking for an affirmation. We're looking for,
Yeah.
it might look like a push, but it's not necessarily a push. Is what it is rather is I want to know that I'm not doing this by myself,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm seen, that I'm
Yep.
not crazy. And
Say that all the
these
time.
little affirmations go so long of a way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would do. I would remind
Mm-hmm.
said person or persons or whatever the case is that you've worked this hard to get here for a reason. Now you're here, and I'm just reminding you that you're ready. It's not because you don't know you're ready. You do know you're ready. I'm just reminding you that you're ready. So go and get what you came here for.
I think we need more friends like you that are emotionally intelligent. Because can you imagine the population out there? And it really is truly like what you surround yourself with or who you surround yourself with. And if we just had more people that spoke those words like you, like I know even when I message you, I'm like this, and this, you're like, oh, that's great. That's wonderful. Like it's supportive and it's building each other up, right? Instead of tearing each
Yes.
other down. So I
Yes.
just I like it and I can feel it too when you talk about those
I believe you can feel
things.
it.
I would say from my perspective, sometimes what looks like a lack of discipline is actually anxiety, fear, trauma, depression, everything we've been talking about. It could even just be the established behavioral pattern, like we've talked about this whole time, like what's comfortable, even if it's not the best answer, the best route. I would say how I distinguish someone from who needs more discipline and someone who needs more support. I guess I was trying to ask that question as it was coming out of my mouth. It wasn't working well. So,
Oh,
how do we distinguish between someone who needs more discipline versus someone who needs more support? What are your thoughts?
oh, great question. How do we distinguish someone who needs more discipline versus someone who needs more support?
Yes, yeah,
Oh man, that's such a good question.
right. Because it
Um,
could even be really difficult sometimes to tell. So,
because I don't think it's different.
oh, tell me, enlighten me. I like it. Because
Let's talk
everyone
about
needs
the.
support.
um, I'm gonna go. We're talking. We're gonna cover the short and long of it.
Yeah.
I'll go short and then I'll kind of speak more to it.
Okay.
If someone had support for the sake of their consistency, would that allow them to become more disciplined if they found that daily support from someone?
Possibly. And I say possibly because they're probably more likely, but that doesn't necessarily mean
So
that they're
let's
going to have
talk
that
about the
outcome.
so now let's go to the other side, what I call the familiar pattern. Because here's where I think things gets deeper. Sometimes we keep recreating situations we say that we don't want, not necessarily because we enjoy them, but because we know how to be ourselves inside of them.
Mm-hmm.
So if I've always been the rescuer, who am I when nobody needs rescuing?
Yes. Again,
If I've
identity.
always been the one who struggles financially, who am I when there's abundance? If I've always been overlooked, what happens when the room finally recognizes me? If I've always been fighting, who am I when there's nothing left to fight?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And these kind of questions can change people's lives, or thought patterns, or emotional health. So, how can we identify whether it's a discipline issue or if it's an encouragement or an acknowledgement
Mm-hmm.
um, issue?
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a bigger question
Mm-hmm.
in front of that.
I think so too.
And I think the bigger question really is, um, am I being seen?
Mm-hmm.
Am I
Sure.
being seen? Well, you were going to say something.
Oh, no, because you're just making me flashback to a patient from earlier
Oh, okay.
today. That's all. But it is. It's this being seen, or this need to be seen, this need to, I don't want to say necessarily be validated, but I've seen that as well too with patients where,
Validation,
yeah,
affirmation,
yeah,
appreciation,
yeah.
acknowledgement.
Mm
Um, if I'm not a gym rat naturally
hmm. Mm hmm.
and I want to start getting in shape
Mm hmm.
and I go to the gym and I either find people or people approach me or someone addresses me, a professional, and encourage me to show up
Uh huh.
and is expecting for me to show up while
Yeah.
they're recognizing me. Am I more likely to show up?
Well, yeah, it's positive reinforcement there. At least that's what I think.
And when I start to show up and I find consistent positive reinforcement,
mm hmm.
let's say for a couple of days straight or a week straight,
Mm hmm.
what's going to happen to me psychologically or even physically
Uh huh.
if if I miss a day?
Oh, yeah, you're gonna be craving that. It's almost like
Sorry, say it again.
it's almost like a craving.
Absolutely, I'm gonna
Yes.
want to show up.
I thought you were going to go a different way there for a second. I thought you were going to say it's going to create an expectation. And then once reality doesn't meet our expectation, then we go down a spiral of stress and whatnot. But that's another day.
Yeah, yeah, because then we're going to the thought of expectation versus anticipation.
Yep.
Um,
Different day.
but in this case, because we're speaking on a physiological level and
mm-hmm.
we've been showing up a consistency because of some kind of intellectual or emotional pull that may
Mm-hmm.
have started us off in the process, our body started to develop a certain thing or things, a desire to want to continue. And that desire starts to show up because we've created so much momentum
Yeah.
to want to be there for ourselves
Yeah.
more so and more so and more so, and that would continue to compound, that would continue to grow because now I'm starting to affirm myself.
Mm-hmm. There's got
Now
to
I'm
be a
starting to
Pavlov in there somewhere. It feels like we're getting close.
we could go Pavlov.
yeah.
We go through conditioning, or we could go through all these things. But now we start to create an intrinsic motivating factor
Mm-hmm.
that will continue to show up consistently for us, and it's in that consistency that
Yeah.
that discipline is going to develop.
Yeah.
And so I to answer the question, I think one feeds the other. And one creates the other. Obviously, discipline shows up in consistency,
Mm-hmm.
but it's very good to. A great way for us to start that is usually at the end of either being acknowledged or affirmed or being challenged, even
Sure.
to show up for ourselves.
I like it.
Yeah, I think I kind of took the longer route to that one, but
That I like all the
I
points
hope it
still.
answers the question.
I'll listen. I'll watch it later.
Well, I got a question for you.
Uh-oh, what?
How how much of behavior do you think is driven by people's desire to return to what feels familiar, even when familiar isn't even serving them anymore?
Well, behavior and routine, right? So our routine is dictating kind of our behavior, what we're used to. There's also physiological and neurological issues that come at play, right? Because we're getting that dopamine hit potentially based on what our actions have been in the past, and that's where our comfort and our joy from. So, is
Yep.
it neurochemical that's causing it, or is it the behavior that's causing it? I think
Oh,
it's
you're teasing that.
Yep.
Okay.
I think it's multifaceted in that regard. but
Yes.
again, it's the familiarity. You could be stabbing yourself in the foot, but you're going to think it's okay because it's what's familiar instead of maybe taking the knife away from your foot because that's not what you're used to. And then we go back to the nervous system like, oh, that's unfamiliar. That's scary. I don't know about that. Even though that is probably, that may be a better option for you. And that could
Very
relate
good.
to so many things. And let's relate it little more practical than stabbing herself. So, um, I'll just put myself out there, as I do. So I work jobs. I've worked as a nurse practitioner in many different settings. I never felt fulfilled in the sense of I was being heard or my opinion was taken like valuable, I guess you could say. I couldn't add anything. I
Yeah.
just go to work, do your job, go home, don't care about the patient, get me my money and leave from the boss. So that was comfortable. I had a paycheck. My paycheck was good. It was coming in every day. And, I could have freedom if I chose, kind of, because charting, whole other story, but in the afternoon and the weekends. And that paycheck was coming in. Now, when I went to go to open my own practice, it's uncomfortable. It's scary. I've never done it before, never looked at anything like that before. But I,
Yes.
I kept thinking about what if this is the better option for me and I don't try it? And this is my chance to kind of seize it. Let's do it and try it. If it fails, it fails. I can always go back to another job and have that consistent paycheck. But if this is successful, I can find more value in it and myself, more completeness with myself, more happiness with myself in the sense of I'm doing it, it's mine, I value it. But even so, if you think about paycheck, like owning your own business, you can make a lot more money than what you could just going in working for somebody else.
Absolutely.
And I even tell myself every day, I'm like, if I end up making the same amount I made working for somebody else for some reason, if that happened, I think I would still be fulfilled because I still have nurse practitioners every day that I talk to because I work a lot with community partners and I always communicate with my referral sources. I mean, they just tell me, well, I can't do that. Leadership gets upset when I like am an individual or I try to initiate something or I try to help take something on because it's just, you're beaten down in this
How does
system.
that feel to say that,
Oh,
knowing that experience, knowing have that, having that perspective and that experience, and then choosing to take the step and be on this side of the be on this side of the equation now?
it's freeing, it's empowering. And I always tell the nurse practitioner I talk to, I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't go back to that.
You know what? I this is so good
Yeah.
because this is what I call, it's a thermostat moment.
Uh huh.
Like I because what you're speaking to is identity,
Mm hmm.
um, which has a lot to do with the crux of my work. I
Yeah.
sometimes I think of identity like a thermostat.
Mm hmm.
Like if the internal setting is 72 and suddenly life becomes 85,
Mm hmm.
something inside us starts trying to bring the room back to 72.
Mm hmm.
Not because 85 is necessarily bad, but because 72 is familiar.
Mm hmm.
So I'm like, maybe the answer isn't simply working harder to reach another level. Maybe we also have to kind of raise the internal setting,
Yeah.
because otherwise you'll keep reaching environments your identity hasn't learned to maintain.
Yeah.
So for you to not only change the setting on the thermostat, but choose to become the thermostat.
Yeah. It's a great way. Oh, I got chills. No, it's true because you take control and you can find all kind of freedom and
is
identity.
indicative
Yeah.
to the freedom, to the fulfillment that brings,
Yeah.
not only for you, not only for your sake and for your family, because you're speaking to the crux of this is why this is why we love what we do.
Mm hmm.
But not only being that example for yourself and for your family, but also being able to show up to those nurse
Yeah.
practitioners who are in the who are currently in the position that you were in,
You're in the
and
trenches.
you being some form of a beacon of hope
Yes.
to them.
I honestly feel that way a lot of times when I talk to them. They're just all so amazed about how did you do it? How could you, how'd it go? Because everyone's so scared of it. And I get it. I was scared of it
Yes,
too. But you just, like we keep saying, you just got to take that step. Just take one step and take another, then take another. And all of a sudden, here I am. Let's see, I really started in January of this year.
hmm
And I was doing self pay only, and then April is when I had more insurances. So I do the combination. And just coming into July, I have 200 patients in my panel, which is it doesn't seem like a lot, but it is a lot. It's pretty dang good. And I think it's just
Doesn't
because,
seem like a lot to who?
oh, to me, that's my own standard. Now I'm mind reading.
Don't mind read for people.
I just mean you don't know where it's gonna grow to. And I think that's what
Yes.
gives me goosebumps. Like thinking about next year, 5 years, and then just looking back at myself at day one and being like, what the hell were you so scared about?
Right. Right.
That's my thought. So I really do believe in one step at a time. Just try. Just see what's next. And that's all I've done. I go next day, I'm
Yes.
like, oh, new day, new stuff. What am I going to learn today about opening a business? Oh, I got to talk to Aka now. Oh, I got to do Aka for this. Oh, I got to do exemption for this. And you just learn and you go. And I can't wait for my YouTube channel. I'm going to start doing more about the business on individuals so that it does empowers more. And I really do love looking at nurse practitioners because I go to all kinds of dinners for oncology, for psych, for Nurse Practitioner Council of Collier County. And just
Yes.
even saying it, they light up and I love it. And I encourage them all to do it too. So
So beautiful.
yeah.
So good, and being able to watch the journey,
Yeah.
as a professional to a professional. And I'll speak to the other side of what we're talking about: imposter syndrome, self sabotage,
Yeah.
and all these other things. I dare people to ask, what happens if it actually works?
Yeah.
Because that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
What happened if it works? What happens if you start making the money that you desire to make? What happened
Yeah.
if your company grows? What happened
Yeah.
personally? What happens if your marriage improves? What happens if people finally recognize you?
Mm-hmm.
Starting to ask questions like that, I think, will help to turn it on its head,
Yeah.
or will help to push um, that identity forward, that
Yeah.
alignment forward. Because at the end of that is, who will you have to become to keep it, to
Mm-hmm.
maintain it?
Yeah.
And then that's when they get to speak to people like me.
I'll say that's a new fear level unlocked. Thanks, Mike.
Well,
Can I
I'm
have an
here.
appointment? Yep, thanks. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Okay, are you okay if I start a closing now, sir? Since I'm going to sign up.
go, go for it.
Okay. So I would say, from everything we've said, if you viewers out there that are watching, if you keep finding yourself doing things that move you away from the life that you want, don't immediately chalk it up to you're lazy or you're weak or you're unmotivated. Get curious. I was gonna say, get curious, like we've been talking about this whole time. Ask yourself, what am I protecting myself from? Right? What am I trying to avoid? I like asking myself that question because then I find it and I try to go to it. But and what would happen if I tolerated that discomfort instead of running away from it? That's
So
really what I
good.
have.
So good. So good. So good. If we were to share anything, here's what I would want someone listening to understand.
Yeah.
There comes a point where information has what I call diminishing returns.
Mm,
Like, you can read another book, you can watch another video, you can attend another seminar, you could download another checklist, but you cannot always see the picture, from where you're standing, especially when you're standing inside the frame. And that's one reason I really feel like powerful coaching and advisory relationships matter. Having professionals, practitioners, people like Natalie here matters. And it's not because you need somebody to run your life. I think it's quite the opposite. I think the right advisor helps you see yourself, your patterns, your decisions, and your opportunities with enough clarity that you can lead yourself better. And Nat and I, we're here. We don't want people to become dependent on us.
right.
But I know for me, I want people to be dangerous without me. And that's why I'm so excited to sit with Natalie and to be able to have these real discussions, these real talks with real life issues and situations, and share a little bit of the value that we deal with in our lives day to day. So super, super excited about this. And if I was to encourage anybody to ask themselves questions. Watch the replay. I'm sure you'll get a lot. Um, but one of the questions would be is what do I say that I want? What do I say that I want and what behavior continues to contradict it? And then decide to take the first step
Yeah, I
for
agree.
yourself.
One small thing you could do differently this week to change the trajectory of your life. That's big.
Ooh, girl, say that again,
We
Nat.
can make it smaller, but one small thing you can do to change the trajectory of your life. And if that feels
Yes.
overwhelming, what's one small thing you could do differently this week to get you towards your goal?
That's so good.
Ah,
Yeah, and don't judge yourselves. Don't judge yourselves. Give yourself some grace.
give yourself some grace. Perfect. Well, Mike, as always, I always love talking to you. And I'm sure people must find this valuable because I know I always do when we talk new insights. And then y'all learn more about me because I'll tell you all about it. But so that's it for Mindset Meets Medicine on this episode this week. We'll see you again next week. And Mike, I was thinking maybe once a month we could go live, not put so much stress on ourselves about live, but we could record and then do like a certain day, a certain Friday of the month, we could do
I
live.
would love that. I think that's a great idea,
Yeah,
and I'm looking forward to making that happen.
that's perfect. All right. You know where to find us. We'll post it out there and we'll see y'all later.
See y'all later.